from Sunday Times. To President of SAFA and all other presidents, just trying to find out how much is the support that the current CAF president has going to this election. I know that in this region, in COSAFA, were 14 members. Are they all members supporting him? And what about the support from the other regions, as far as you know?
CAF have 53 members. And the nominations, and a nomination is not a vote, but nomination is expression of support. And we have reached over 40 out of 53. So if the vote follows the pledge, you see what is the end result. We are confident that he will be re-elected as president.
Yes, maybe to add on that, in terms of COSAFA, yes, almost all the COSAFA members are behind him.
Thank you. Very from the SAFA Sport. In fact, I wanted to be specific. I wanted to be specific more on COSAFA. In terms of the support, the letters of expression from other.
We can use.
Yeah. The letters of expression from other MAs that are not here, and also. Also, we understand that COSAFA, I mean, you were the first to endorse Dr. Motsepe for re-election. We just wanted to report accurately in terms of which COSAFA members have came forward. Yeah, so that we can record you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What I would suggest is that after the press conference, you phone Veron, who's the Secretary General of CAP, and because we all sent our letters to him. And I had a conversation with him. But if you want accurate to date, you have to phone him and ask him. And he will give you the accurate nominations. The voting is next year in March, but the nomination you can get from him. But it's overwhelming.
And mention the closing date is the 12th. And I wanted to say and mention that the closing date for nominations is the 12th of November.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tiseto Maleba from City Press. Maybe as a continuation from David's question, maybe I can rephrase it for him. Which FA was first to nominate the incumbent, and which three other FAs seconded the nomination?
No, each FA writes the letter and send it to the Secretary General.
Direct.
Okay. I think they are talking about the forms and you have to be supported by
Jabulongito from News 24. The question is for the presidents. I know you touched on that. The first term is obviously where you lay foundation, and in second term, that's where you become more productive and sort of build forward. I wanted to ask all five, do you believe that there should be term limits in terms of CAF presidents, and also within the federations in the continent, that there should be limits on how long a president should run?
Now you can answer.
I can take that one because I've got experience with term limits. I got elected in 2016 on a constitution which didn't have term limits. And I think at that time FIFA just started the process of introducing term limits. So in our constitution for 2017, we introduced a maximum of 3 term limits. So that is what is consistent with FIFA and even in other jurisdictions. Because clearly, you can't be there forever. I think that is the principle under which limits apply. So you can only do so much, because in the past we've had instances where presidents have served for 29 years, others for a long period, but for the good order of governance, it's always good that term limits are respected. Thank you.
Any more questions from the floor?
How many do you need?
Right. So as for Malawi, we are also of the view that yes, there has to be a term limit, as my colleague has said from Zambia, and he has clearly indicated that, you know, as FAs, we do also follow what resolution has been made at our mother body, which is FIFA. So as FIFA introduced the 3-term limit, this is what we are now following. So it is also our view as Football Association of Malawi to maintain the terms at CAF. Thank you very much.
I was saying, when we started, that I was asking all presidents for their response.
Botswana, rightfully so, our constitution stipulates that there should be 3 terms, and we adhere to that. So I don't think there will ever be any changes to that. Thank you.
Yes, same applies to Swaziland.
I'm not a lawyer, but I just want to also make mention that the way you count term limits, they are driven by the effective date. Like I indicated, I got elected in 2016 on the old constitution, and then we introduced term limits in 2017. So the current term that I'm serving, which will end next year, under the current statute, is really the first term. So we obviously have to look at interpretation. But the basic principle is that it has to be 3 term limits. So you cannot be disadvantaged because you came in before, or you cannot be disadvantaged because you came in after. It's just like football. You start the game based on the rules that are applicable. I just wanted to make that clarification.
Yeah, I think that's clear. Term limit starts on the day which the resolution is taken. Gianni Infantino served the term, then they took the resolution with term limit, and now he's serving the term. Now, if you take the period prior to the decision, Gianni Infantino has already passed his 4th term. So it depends on how you interpret it. At the moment, in CAF, there is no term limit. In FIFA, when was it taken? In 2017. So 2021, 2025, and 2029 is Gianni Infantino's last term. However, if you take it from the time when he commenced, it should have been in his 4th term. So it's just a legal point as to you cannot make a law and make it retrospective. It applies from the day when it was adopted. So we must understand that. I think you will also complain if the law comes that you must pay 50% tax and it's retrospective. It starts on the day when it was accepted. Okay.
Just to go back on the issue of, I think, Dr. Kamanga, just looking back, especially as someone who's been there from day one and even from the previous regime, dealing with the financial books there. In terms of Dr. Motsepe's leadership style, what would you say has been key in him turning around the situation at CAF? I'm listening to the numbers that you are talking about, and in the same vein, you also still had to pay, I think, about 50 million USD in that period to Lakadia, meaning that if that money was not there, we would be talking about profits now. So what has been key in that? And also maybe this is a question that can be answered. For those who are opposed to him coming back, maybe you'll know better because you're in Addis, you're on the ground. What seems to be their message? Because I was also reading a quote from his vice president, Mr. Sengo, who was saying he doesn't see any need why there should be change of progress, but we constantly hear that in North Africa they were not singing from the same hymn book from the other Songa millions.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I would respond in two ways. You know, management style differs from person to person. Previously, we had a president who stayed long and spent a lot of time in the CAF office in Cairo. The one who came after him spent less time in Cairo, but on the continent. And Dr. Motsepe has hardly spent time in Cairo. But in terms of management, his style is to work with the staff that are there, to give them the leeway to work because they are professional. And at the end of the day, the results are there for everyone to see. So in terms of expectation, they could be people who feel that he doesn't spend as much time. But I can assure you, the results are showing us that it's not how much time you spend in the office in Cairo, it's more what you do. And what he has done, I can assure you, he's brought in more revenues. They've been able to invest more in football development, which relates to all the members receiving more than 100% increase. There's also been more money spent on coach education, demonstration courses. So when you look at the entire suite of activities, we have done very, very well. And as Dr. Jordaan indicated, for the first time, we had the AFCON 2023 in Ivory Coast being the most profitable. And yet 2 years later, 2 years before when he just came in, we just had a profit of $5 million. And then that went to a huge amount. And we hope that the next AFCON in 25 will even scale up. So you can clearly see that the vision and direction in which football in Africa is taking is completely different. We've seen the introduction of the African Super League competition. There's been more money put in the club competitions. So there's quite a lot happening. And it's based on those results that we believe that he should be given an opportunity to lead for the next 4 years with the expectation that things will improve both administratively, on the field of play, and also financially. But I must also state that coming from a financial background, football is not about profit, it's more about what you invest in the development of the game. So we always have different measures in terms of the statistics for football. So you will find that you've got a loss, but you've spent more or invested more in football development. And the results in football development will show when you look at the competitions where the various teams are competing.
We'll take one final question, ladies and gentlemen. The President's
I think there was another one to do with other prospective candidates.
Yes, yes.
As far as Football Association of Malawi, maybe my friends, the only candidate that has come forward with the dedication to say that he is going to stand is Dr. Motsepe as we speak. I'm hearing from you that there are interest from the north. Otherwise, as Football Association of Malawi, I haven't heard anything. The only declaration that we have seen is for Dr. Motsepe. This is why we are saying Dr. Motsepe is our own. And not only because it's our own from the Legion, but also the tremendous work that we have attested here. So, yeah, I just wanted to confirm that the only one that we know is that one. The North hasn't reached us yet. Thank you very much.
One final question before we wrap up.
Yes, thank you. Talking about term limits, what about the age limits? What are the views from the President, and what is the age limit currently at your association? And how did you vote at the assembly? Why did you vote for or against the scrapping of the age limit?
You want me to
can we be allowed to start with the young ones? Because we feel like we're hindered with this age. From us as Football Association of Malawi, we do understand, as I earlier on indicated what my brother from Zambia has indicated, we do follow what FIFA statutes follow. FIFA statutes do not block anyone in terms of age limit. So what we are saying is like, who are we to block anyone from age limit? You are aware that in those days there were also issues of maybe qualification. For example, the president must have a degree or whatever. But if FIFA is saying, no, there may be someone who is dedicated, who has got passion, who has got the zeal for football, who want to invest more into football, but maybe doesn't have that qualification. Is it on for us to bar that person from contesting or from being a leader in that capacity? So FIFA saw all that and said, no, we should not block. So as a Football Association of Malawi, we are also saying age limit is not a bar to anyone to enter into any position. Yeah, but we all have to make sure that the people that we choose, the people that we want to be in those positions, are people that are going to be productive, not people that are going to sleep in meetings and all that. I hope I've answered on my side. Thank you very much.
As SABC Sport has already said, I think President here and the young President that side and myself, I think we slept out, what time? 3 o'clock in the morning on the same issue. So to be quite honest with you, as President Malawi has already said, we looked at it the African way, if I can put it like that, because we know when you are 70 plus in Africa, there is a difference, and 70 plus in Europe. So we were of the view that they should go and rest or retire. That was before we got educated the same night. And standing here, I think I'm of the same opinion that there are people out out there that can bring value, and yes, over 70 years, and not everybody would, I think, hang on to the position because he wants to come and sleep here. Though yes, there is a cherry on top that money has been increased. We hope they will look at the bigger picture to see if they can be productive or can add value in the development of football. So that's how we looked at it. And yes, Botswana Football Association is one of the countries that ended up agreeing on the removal of the age limit. Thank you.
On age limits, again, being consistent with FIFA, it was only CAF which had the 70-year limit, which obviously was deemed to have been discriminatory. And there was also another amendment which had to do with the way CAF is organized for FIFA elections, to do with language, because we basically had English, French, then the others who were put together. So both were taken out, so we no longer have age limits, we no longer have qualification by language, because they were both deemed to be discriminatory and they did not apply in other jurisdictions. So we are just being consistent with what FIFA is saying. Thank you.
Yes, even from ourselves, Eswatini, the feeling was that as long as you are productive, we still need you in football. Thank you.
Well, I think everybody has spoken. The fact of the matter is CAF has fallen in line with the whole world. There's no federation in the world that had age limit. Not CONMEBOL, not CONCACAF, not FIFA, not Asia, not Oceania, and now CAF also. There is no such provision. So CAF has come in line with the rest of the world. And the president made the point. He says no. He's sitting in board meetings where the chair is far over the 70 limit. Then he looks around, there are 40, 50-year-olds fast asleep in the meeting. He says so, even in his meetings, they don't consider age because it doesn't indicate who comes to sleep in the meeting and who is active. And he is very happy that in their business, they will never consider age limit. And in FIFA now, and all of the federations all over the world, it has been scrapped. There's no such limitation.